What's good with you guys? It's your boy Devil here, and I'm back with another reaction video. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be checking out the 10 worst WWE booking decisions in 2025 by, as you can see, WrestleMania. Link to the original video will be in the description. If you guys want to check it out for yourself, be sure to like, comment, subscribe to WrestleMania. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe over here. And yeah, I mean, if we're being honest, I can think of at least 5 off the top of my head. Not gonna say them because they're probably gonna be in a video. But I can think of at least 5, and apologies for the inconsistencies. We've been working through some things, man, because I'm trying to get different type of content out for y'all instead of just reaction videos. I don't want to just do reaction shit. I want to be able to do, like, give y'all my top 5 favorite matches of all time, underrated matches, just things of that nature. So be on the lookout for stuff like that. And without further ado, let's stop yapping and get straight to the video.
2025 has been.
Yeah, we got Cody in the soul. Cody Rock.
2025 has been an unusual year for WWE. Whilst the product from a financial perspective has remained hot, the creative output has left a lot to be desired.
Yep. The booking, man, that's funny as hell.
Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. Number 10, Brock squashes Cena.
Jesus
the WWE's
Christ,
first
man.
ever WrestlePalooza show.
Dog, don't even get. See, this is gonna be the ones I was talking about. What was the point of this, bro? Because obviously it didn't lead to anything else down the line. You know, John Cena's literally about to retire this weekend. So it's not like he got his get back or anything. It's just like he literally faced Brock Lesnar just to get squashed. Like, not even the power of 50 white kids could help John Cena in this situation. Like, he came out there with 50 kids in John Cena outfits. 50 white kids in John Cena outfits. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure, he winning. No. They have him lose in what felt like 3 minutes. Now, apparently the match was like 8 or something like that.
Controversy.
We'll
As
I think
WWE
WrestleMania
made
will
the
cover
bold
it.
call to have a returning Brock Lesnar absolutely demolish John Cena. This received a ton of backlash, as this was one of Cena's final ever WWE dates, and him being squashed by Lesnar didn't achieve anything at all. It wasn't even followed up on TV in any capacity, and Cena didn't even mention it. The match was practically retconned, making it completely pointless. A lot of fans were upset as they were under the impression that WWE were mocking Cena, and it's easy to see why. Not a single top name in WWE history would have been treated like this on their way out, and fans had every right to be upset with WWE and Triple H, as this type of booking was truly horrendous. Reports indicated that Cena pushed for this outcome, yet this hasn't been confirmed by Cena himself. It was claimed that Cena was initially booked
and they've been
to win
going
the
back
match.
and forth with stuff. Like, remember when they first brought Brock Lesnar back? Triple H and John Cena were both going back and forth with like, oh no, he wanted him back. Oh no, he wanted him back. Like Triple H said Cena wanted Brock Lesnar on one of the dates, and then Cena was like, no, I don't really choose my opponents. So it's just like, come on, bro. And I believe that he don't really choose his opponents because AJ Styles and John Cena almost never happened. And I think that for sure John Cena would want to face AJ Styles one last time if he actually got to choose. Like, that match would have just been like 100% happening. It ended up being something they had to put together like last minute because the fans were like pissed. I was pissed. I mean, if y'all were in there during the WrestlePalooza stream, I already said, so we can have Brock Lesnar come in and give John Cena like a 3-minute match and squash him, but we just can't get AJ Styles. And thankfully they fixed that shit.
But the match finish was changed just hours before. Now come on, this isn't exactly uncommon in WWE, so this could be 100% accurate. But the booking just made no sense at all, as Lesnar didn't even need to be re-established. And this is the type of match outcome that could have been given to a young star such as Braun Breaker, but WWE just couldn't resist trying to recapture the magic of SummerSlam 2014. Just let it go, man. Number 9, call it a day. The key to creating an iconic feud is knowing when to call it a day. Sadly, in 2025, Triple H just couldn't find that right balance. Feuds in 2025 have gone on for so long that fans have completely lost interest. Feuds between the likes of CM Punk and Seth Rollins went on for pretty much the entire year. There was even rumored that the feud would go into 2026. Feuds between the likes of Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton went on for months and months and months with zero new developments. It was almost as if WWE were just copying and pasting every single week.
Now, Punk and Rollins, I didn't personally get tired of seeing those two. I mean, obviously when CM Punk came back, that was obviously going to be like a big thing that they're going to push, because it was documented that Seth Rollins didn't really like Punk or how he handled things when he walked out. Now, obviously I'm sure they've reconciled and that they're pretty cool now, but they are, you know what I'm saying, there was some beef there at some point, so obviously you got to play on that. Now Tiffany and Nia, Jesus, man.
Needed in 2026 are short, snappy feuds, and Triple H needs to stop relying on his established booking formula of extended rivalries, as they're turning the fans away from the product. Number 8, the Women's US title. The WWE's hit a home run when it comes to the presentation of the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Right.
The title is featured weekly in the work of Becky.
Like they did so well with the Women's Intercontinental Championship that people were mad that Maxine won. Dog, it's a mid-card title. Maxine is a mid-carder. That title is made for people like her. But because they booked it so well, people were like thinking it's on the same level of the Women's World Championship. Cause like, man, how you go from Lyra to Becky to Maxine? When the title was made for people like Maxine, Becky just put it to new heights. Shout out to Becky though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Becky, shout out to Lyra for the work that they put in as women's Intercontinental champions.
To elevate the title deserves all the credit in the world.
Oh God,
Sadly,
she does.
the same couldn't be said for the US title over on SmackDown. The title has been a complete disaster.
Yeah.
So much so that the title is yet to be defended on a single WWE PLE.
That's
insane.
right,
the title has never been featured on a PLE at all. This is a clear sign that WWE just had no idea what to do with it. The fact that the two heels are currently feuding over the title is a clear indicator that the title needs major attention in the new year. Otherwise, just scrap the damn thing. Number 7, Jey Uso's push.
Oh,
now don't get us wrong, WWE pushing Jey Uso makes a ton of sense.
Right.
Jey is insanely over with the audience, and he's continuously a top merchandise seller for the company.
Right.
He makes the money. WWE would go all in on Jey at the Royal Rumble as they would have him win the annual matchup, and this came as a major surprise as fans expected John Cena or CM Punk to win the matchup. Jey had wrestled for the world title just 7 days prior and lost.
Yep.
The internet backlash to his win was substantial, and it started a trend of the internet turning on Jey, specifically when it came to YouTube dislikes. Jey's in-ring work was questioned by fans all through the build to WrestleMania, and WWE even turned this into a storyline where Jey would even botch in his matches. Jey would win the world title at WrestleMania in what some would label as Gunther's worst match ever, making the odd decision to have him tap out. This is something that Gunther rarely ever did.
Yeah, I didn't like that decision. I mean, if you want Jey to beat him, that's cool. Sure. You know, he's one of the most over people in the business or in the company, whatever. If you want him to be world champion, that's cool. But don't have Gunther tap out, because, I mean, we had to hear you tapped out chants for like 6 months after. Like, that shit happened in April. We were still hearing you tapped out chants in August. And it happened in April. So, that's why, I mean, that's why you gotta just have him pin him. What's wrong with pinning him? I understand that the sleeper was the whole thing because he put Jimmy in the sleeper, had him blood. He had his blood all over him. So it's like Jey obviously has to crash out and at least attempt to make him tap. I just don't think he should tap out in that situation. I think you just have him get the pinfall victory, and then that way you don't have any problems. Other than the people that don't want to see Jey as champion. But, I mean, you can't please everybody.
In WWE, and to have him tap out to Jey Uso was nonsensical. Jey would have a brief reign with the title, but he remained linked to the world title on television throughout the rest of the year.
This one pissed
Whilst
people
Jey
off
remains
a lot
over
too.
with the general audience, the internet has definitely had enough of Jey Uso, and maybe it's time for WWE to rethink his booking and presentation in 2026.
They had him crashing out on Raw.
At least WWE got it right when they wouldn't have him as the last ever opponent for John Cena. That would have created a Chernobyl-like reaction. Number 6, Bloodline Hunter. Drew McIntyre had a standout year in 2024. His feud with CM Punk was the feud of the year, and coming out of that rivalry, he looked destined for the world title scene. McIntyre's booking started off really strong in 2025.
It did.
As he would debut a new Bloodline character, where he was seeking to banish the Bloodline.
Yes, and they should have kept the ball going with this. Should have kept the ball going. This was a good character. Because, I mean, we all know that the Bloodline have screwed Drew over countless times. Screwed him over in his hometown. So, him being the Bloodline Hunter, that would have went crazy. But they scrapped it way too early, and I have no clue why. Because it's like, At that, I mean, all you've been doing with Drew is just feeding him to Cody for like the past couple months. So you might as well have just went through with this. I mean, at least this gets him, you know what I'm saying, some type of recognition and credibility. I mean, if you're just gonna be in a match against Cody Rhodes and lose every single time, then who cares? Nobody wants to really see that matchup going forward. If that's how the result's gonna be every single time those two go head to head, then just scrap it, bro. Which is why SmackDown needs to call people up. That's a conversation for another day.
There were even rumors that this was going to lead to a featured match versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41, but WWE would ultimately pivot on this. McIntyre would go from being rumored to face Reigns to facing Damian Priest at WrestleMania. Granted, Priest is talented, but he's not Roman Reigns. McIntyre's booking has struggled to regain momentum for the rest of 2025.
Exactly.
McIntyre has lost back-to-back matches versus Cody Rhodes, and it seems like WWE just has zero interest in crowning McIntyre anytime in the near future.
Right.
Have they dropped the ball on him completely? Well, let's hope not. Number 5, LA Knight's booking.
Ooh,
LA Knight is a name that just can't get over that creative hurdle in WWE.
Yeah.
LA has been over as hell for over 2 years now.
Yeah.
But Triple H just can't pull the trigger on him. Knight has been given main event pushes throughout 2025, but it was a given that LA Knight was never going to win the world title. This is frustrating as a viewer and a fan of LA Knight.
This was
a type of booking that was commonplace in the Vince McMahon era of WWE. McMahon resented anyone that got over via their own accord, and eventually fans stopped caring as they knew their support was completely pointless.
Damn.
It's been widely reported that LA Knight will be receiving that mega push up the card soon, but when this will be remains to be seen.
Okay, they've been saying that though. Like, how many times? Like, I literally seen a report. Boom, Drew McIntyre's 2025's booking. He's gonna get pushed to the moon in 2025. They're not seeing that Finn Balor was gonna have a crazy 2025. Neither one of those guys did. So I mean, it's kind of like we gotta see it to believe it at this point.
There's been speculation on social media that Triple H isn't a big fan of LA Knight, and it's certainly easy to see where this speculation surfaces from. Number 4, a dire WrestleMania. WrestleMania 41 was heavily panned by fans and critics alike. Specific criticism was offered regarding the Night 2 main event between Cody Rhodes and John Cena.
The triple threat matches carried hard. Like Io, Bianca, Rhea, Punk, Rollins, Reigns, y'all's backs for carrying WrestleMania, man. Y'all know y'all's backs had to hurt. I mean, Bianca sacrificed her damn finger for this shit, man. Like, it's truly crazy. Like, there's obviously other good matches. Like, I enjoyed Jade and Naomi. I enjoyed Jacob and LA Knight. I enjoyed the, Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental Championship. Dom, Finn, Braun Breaker, Penta. I enjoyed that match. There's a couple other matches on there that I enjoyed. But for the most part, it was just mid, bro. Just, like, extremely mid. Like, we really had Travis Scott interfering in the main event of WrestleMania 41. John Cena's final WrestleMania. Insane, bro.
Whilst this match should have worked, the dynamic was completely off, and it was almost as if the crowd were waiting for The Rock to show up.
We were.
The Rock didn't appear, and instead Travis Scott took 82 years to enter the ring, with the Iron Sheik making it down quicker. It completely killed the crowd.
RIP
The match was poorly put together, and it's quite rightly being labelled as one of the worst WrestleMania main events in company history. Thankfully for WWE, the rematch between Rhodes and Cena was a considerable improvement. And in a weird twist of fate, it's now on many fans' shortlists of the best match of 2025. Number 3, Randy Orton's booking.
Oh boy.
Randy Orton has been booked incredibly poorly since he returned at Survivor Series 2023. Whilst Orton is perhaps better than ever in the ring, WWE just can't get behind him for some strange reason. Orton has spent the best part of 2 years teasing a feud with Cody Rhodes, and the more WWE teases it, the less fans care, especially when they have him just looking at the title every time. Orton seems to lose every big match WWE books him in.
And it's like, what are you scared of? Like, what are you scared of at this point? SmackDown needs something like this. SmackDown needs, Randy to turn heel, Cody to turn somebody. SmackDown needs like a refresher. Because, I mean, Ilya holding it down, Melo be doing his thing. The tag division, women's tag division, they cooking up there. But it's just, dog. The main event scene on SmackDown, I was talking about that last week on the Raw stream. They just lack credible heels. Like, it's literally Drew or bust at this point. Like, have Cody defending his out. Like, even if we know Cody's probably gonna win, at least we get to shake things up and have fresh matchups. But just feeding Drew to Cody each and every PLE, it's just boring. And it's like we know the outcome. Now, if you were to surprise us and put it on Drew, y'all like y'all shock factor moments. Just saying, man.
On a part-time contract, as he appears for a match, puts over a name, and then just disappears.
Yeah.
WWE needs to realize that Orton is one of the biggest names left under contract, and they're without a doubt taking him for granted in every way. Even his presentation is puzzling, because in theory, Triple H should be pushing Orton to the moon, as Orton was his hand-picked guy over 20 years ago.
Right.
WWE are letting Orton down, and he's a name that deserves better in 2026. It's even crazy that he's missed the last 4 PLEs in WWE.
Insane.
Number 2, Fiend. Celebrities getting involved in pro wrestling isn't a new concept. However, over the years, we've seen time and time again celebrities coming into the world of WWE to make money, and they clearly have zero interest in pro wrestling. This has thankfully shifted thanks to names such as Logan Paul, Ice Speed, and Bad Bunny, and even Jelly Roll understood the art of pro wrestling, so much so that he volunteered to lose at SummerSlam. But the same couldn't be said for Travis Scott, as despite his stature outside of wrestling, the fans just didn't care. WWE presents Scott alongside Cena during the initial heel turn, and he was weirdly presented as the difference maker in the WrestleMania main event. This was really short-sighted on WWE's part, as Scott wasn't even an active wrestler. He had never even taken a bump before. It was almost as if WWE were telling the audience that Scott was as big as anyone on the active roster. It was then reported that the working relationship between Scott and WWE had come to an end, and even one of WWE's top heels, Drew McIntyre, labeled Scott as a piece of shit. Doesn't get worse than that. And number 1, well, you knew it was coming. Botched retirement tour. Though on paper, the idea of John Cena having a full 12 months in WWE before retiring sounds incredible. This would be WWE's opportunity to have Cena run it back with his arch rivals and hopefully create some new stars in the process. Things started off extremely well with a somewhat ambitious heel turn for Cena at the annual Elimination Chamber show. This was a heel turn that nobody saw coming, and Cena aligning with The Rock was a shocking angle that was compared to Stone Cold Steve Austin selling his soul way back at WrestleMania 17. Unfortunately, this is where the issues began. The Rock, who was the catalyst for the...
I'm not gonna lie. Me personally, I'm putting it as the greatest heel turn of all time. I'm sorry, but John Cena was a damn face for like 20 plus years. And then he finally flipped the switch. Shocking moment for sure. The heel turn was handled poorly though, but
entire heel turn would decide to drop out of the planned storyline, so this left WWE and Cena in an awkward position. The Rock's involvement was basically retconned, and WWE had to improvise with a half-baked approach to Cena's heel presentation. The motivations were simply weak, and nothing that Cena was saying resonated with the fans. Cena's heel run lasted from Elimination Chamber to SummerSlam, and during this time, he feuded with names such as Randy Orton, CM Punk, and even R-Truth. Most of these matches were overbooked messes with interference spots, and when the bell rang on the matches with Orton and Punk, fans were left disappointed, as it didn't act as a fitting end to these iconic rivalries. In the summer, WWE would then pivot and revert Cena back to his babyface status, and WWE basically acted like the heel run never occurred. There was evidently an internal conflict between Cena and Triple H, as Triple H would often claim that Cena was booking his own retirement run and even credited Cena for bringing back Brock Lesnar. Cena would outright deny this, and the only creative output Cena's had was showcasing NXT stars during his final ever WWE.
Hey, shout out to John Cena for that though. Shout out to John Cena for instead of making the whole entire Saturday Night Main Event about you, which deservedly so, they should, like, you're John Cena, bro. Like, when people think of WWE, if you're not one of the first 2 to 3 names that come up, then that person just doesn't know ball. But for your final match, you want to showcase the future of WWE, that's fire, bro. And I appreciate that. Because, I mean, we get to see guys like these two. Like, the whole world gets to see what guys like these two can do. Especially this one. Triple H, do not fumble him. This is your Jeff Hardy without the problems, and I fuck with Jeff Hardy heavy. But this is your Jeff Hardy without the out of the ring stuff. Shout out to Jeff though.
WWE event. Cena's final run has been left with missed opportunities, and it will certainly be interesting to know what the man himself thinks of the retirement run, as it's been a total letdown. But there you have it, folks. 10 of the worst WWE booking decisions in 2025.
Alright, there you have it. Dang, bruh. I mean, yeah. I feel like a majority, if I had to make my own list, I feel like all of these should probably be on there. For sure. I think maybe substitute. I'd probably substitute something else for Melo's booking, because it's just weird. I mean, obviously they're ramping up. He's getting booked better. But it's just like, bro, he came up, got called up with Lyra, Braun Breaker, Tiffany Stratton. They all had incredible success in 2025. 2024, 2025, whatever. And then he is kind of just, like, I mean, he damn near might be the best in-ring one out of all four of them. And then he's kind of just the one that's hanging around. They kind of lost with him. They all held titles. He didn't get one. I mean, he defeated Braun Breaker at Stand and Deliver to get his NXT title. So it's like, it's what it is there. But let me know y'all thoughts. Let me know what y'all think is the worst booking decision of 2025. Obviously, there's still a little bit more time left before the year is over. But it's gonna be. I think it should be pretty hard to mess it up with these last couple days after 2025. So, but you never know. But yeah, let me know what y'all think is the worst one. Me personally, I would have to go with Cena's retirement tour, because everything else can get fixed. You know what I mean? Everything else can ramp back up and or ramp down, depending on whatever it was. You can't redo Cena's retirement tour because he's done after this. So I'd probably have to say my number one probably be the same as WrestleMania's. But yeah, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all that have been doing so. And yeah, man, y'all know what it is. See you guys next time.